Hello everyone! Welcome to KinKuni follow-up to You Are Scaring Me challenge part 2! The promised heist is on the way and it is finished in this episode. Don't worry, I'm not going to end on a cliffhanger again. So I hope you will enjoy this. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much. And yes, I hope you will enjoy this. Before we start, however, allow me to direct your attention to my shop, where besides the new Semishira keychains, you can also find the Kyohaba ones, the Pride bracelet collection, Nekoma bracelet, and some other cool jewelry I make. Link is in the description. What if it's not going to work? Kindaichi shook his head, giving his hand what Kunimi supposed was a reassuring squeeze. Under normal circumstances, he was sure it would help. But today... He had about 3 hours of sleep under his belt at most from the night, his mind and nerves haunting him the moment he closed his eyes. The situation was dire, there was no way around it. He only had one day to find the dreaded report or risk not only losing his job, but also throwing them deep into debt. Or worst case scenario, he would have to forget dignity and bite down on shame and disgust, offering his body on the line and risking losing everything he cared about in the process. Don't think about that. I'll kill him if he just touches you. You... I'm serious. Kunimi didn't doubt him. It only took one look and Kindaichi's usually so kind and friendly face twisted with fury to tell him he was more than capable of fulfilling that threat. And that worried him. He gripped Kindaichi's sleeve, feeling his hands trembling. Please don't do anything that will get you arrested. Please. To his surprise, Kindaichi's face softened after his words. He kept Kunimi's cheek, leaning down to kiss his forehead. Don't worry about me. If everything goes according to the plan, the only one who gets arrested will be him. There it was again. The plan Kunimi had mostly no idea about. The only thing Kindaichi told him was to be ready and on his signal go to Yamada's desk to look for the report. It was for his sake, Kindaichi told him when he asked for details. The less he knew, the better. Just be careful. Promise me you'll be careful. Kindaichi grinned and tapped into the floor with his crutch. No worries. I already used up my bad luck this year. Or good luck. What if... No what ifs, okay? I won't let you give up to him until I exhausted all options. Just trust me, okay? Kunimi clenched his jaw, fighting the pressure building behind his eyes. This was exactly what he wanted to avoid. Dragging Kindaichi into his issues and risking getting him in trouble too. What kind of partner was he if he couldn't protect his significant other? Don't go to jail, please. I won't, not today. You don't have a photo of us on your desk, do you? No. Okay. I am a bit hurt, but this time it's to our advantage. Before Kunimi could ask what that meant, Kindaichi kissed him again and gently nudged him towards the door. Go or you'll be late. And don't worry about anything, okay? Though, if you could still pretend to look for that paper, that would be great. Kunimi nodded, not even attempting to ask anymore, and hesitantly walked out of the door towards his impending doom. the only thing keeping him from crumbling being Kindaichi's soft smile. He could do this. He just had to trust his fiancée, just like he always did ever since middle school. This was nothing new to him. His seat felt like being lit on fire that day. He tried his hardest to not fidget too much, but feeling Yamada's gaze on him since he arrived, for sure accompanied by a smug grin, didn't help at all. Acting according to Kindaichi's suggestion, he continued to search through the various folders he brought from file cabinets and archive, hoping that maybe, just maybe, they could get lucky. But when even an hour later he didn't find anything, even the last remains of hope disappeared. He could just wait and pray Kindaichi's plan was going to work. That day? He flinched, barely able to catch himself to not turn around. Shivers ran through his body when the nastiest presence he knew leaned over him, caging him to his desk and breathing down his neck. You know you don't have much time left, huh? I'd think about my offer if I were you. Why are you doing this? How? Do you have no morals whatsoever? Yamada smirked, the sight sending chills down Kunimi's spine. You really care about morals when you want something? How sweet. I don't care what you think. The important thing is, I'll have my share. He caressed Kunimi's arm, and Kunimi's stomach rolled. Clenching his fist, he was ready to punch him away, no matter the consequences. But then a voice of the receptionist made Yamada straighten up. Yamada, your client is here. Oh, send him in then. He turned to Kunimi one more time, the sly grin back on his face. Think about your options. You don't have many. Kunimi tensed, the fight with tears slowly entering his vision, costing him all of his remaining willpower. His skin crawled just imagining Yamada's hands on him, the prospect of letting him do what he wanted making him nauseous. But it wasn't like Yamada was wrong. He really didn't have many options. Please be careful, I'll get you a better seat. That's not necessary. Kunimi's head shot up, his breath hitched in his throat when he recognized the voice. Kindaichi gave him a tiny smile before he turned away again, even that little enough to rattle Kunimi's core. Was this part of the plan? It had to be, but why? He watched as Kindaichi took seat opposite Yamada, listening carefully to their conversation for the agreed-on cue. So, as I understand it, you are asking to invest the money you inherited. Correct. It's quite a lot and I don't want it to just lay around when the revenues are high. That's a wise decision. We'll gladly help you with everything you would need. Just out of curiosity, how much are you planning to invest? Somewhere around 5 million. Kunimi gaped at him in shock before he realized that this too had to be part of the bait. Surely Kindaichi wasn't hiding 5 million from him, right? Yamada seemed similarly shocked at first, but then a smile returned on his face, and Kunimi was sure he was already counting the provision he would get from this investment. It wouldn't be a small amount. I see. Then, if you agree, I would show you some of our most successful funds, and you'll see yourself which ones do you like. That would be perfect, thank you. He glanced around as if assessing the building. I believe I chose the safest option. The words cut through Kunimi's consciousness. He instinctively straightened a bit, ready to head out the moment Kindaichi told him to. Yamada, on the other hand, didn't seem to notice anything and continued to blabber about investment options, surely already seeing himself buying something expensive. Kindaichi kept feeding him on that too from what Kunimi overheard, until a loud bang from the reception area turned everyone's attention to the lobby. A man barged through the second set of doors and marched to the reception, already yelling from afar. "Where's that guy? I saw him enter 10 minutes ago." Oh no. Kunimi quickly looked back at Kindaichi, who now looked half horrified, half annoyed. "Is something of the matter?" "It's my idiot of a cousin. He and his brother are convinced I stole the inheritance from them, even though the will spoke clearly. They can't get their hands on the money under any circumstances. They'll just spend it for alcohol and in brothels." Just as he said that, another man, whose face Kunimi also vaguely recognized, rushed through the door. "That bastard's here, isn't he? Show up, you coward!" "You are the one to talk. I was here first, so back off." "Gentlemen, please calm down, or I'll have to..." "You think I'll let you steal my money too? I was the closest to Grandma. It would be mine if that fucker didn't make her change the will." "You..." He didn't finish as the other man suddenly tackled him to the ground. From his seat, Kunimi couldn't see much, but the noise was enough for him to imagine the fight quite vividly. The rest of the people got up in unison, and as if drawn to the drama by an invisible string, almost all squeezed to the glass panel dividing them from the lobby. Kindaichi got up too, his face scrunching briefly in pain as he limped to the reception with Yamada close behind. "Kindaichi-san, I believe you should stay here until we call security." Kindaichi ignored him and walked out of the office, bellowing from the bottom of his lungs. "Stop this at once! You're an embarrassment to the family name!" That was Kunimi's cue. He got up, only briefly registering Yamada rushing to the two men and some gasps of surprise from the other co-workers, but then his focus was solely on Yamada's desk. He rummaged through the first drawer, only finding some for him unimportant documents. With despair fueling his movement, he dug through the second one, his movements becoming more frantic with every second. "Akira? What are you?" "Please, not now, am I need to find something." He searched and searched, turning every paper in case it was the right one. Second drawer wasn't useful either, and the only one that remained was the lowest one. He fell to his knees to get better access, almost tearing some of the documents in the rush, anguish building up in his chest to the point of pain. "Come on, please. It has to be here. There's no way." And then, finally, he recognized his own handwriting on one of the documents. A giant wave of relief washed over him, making him tear up and his hands tremble. "Thank God." "Hey, what are you doing at my desk?" Startled, he backed away a step, his heart jumping into his throat when he spotted Yamada in the office door, looking majorly pissed. Kunimi backed away again, clenching the report in his hand. "You stole it. You stole it from the folder and then tried to blackmail me because of it." "Shut your stupid mouth!" Kunimi yelped in pain as Yamada pushed him into the nearest desk, the clearly murderous intent in his eyes turning his blood into ice. "Guess I was too nice to you, huh?" He reached for Kunimi again, but then huffed when the sight of the crutch hit him in the knee. "Get away from him!" Before Yamada managed to regain his footing, Kindaichi grabbed his collar and spun him around, and Kunimi flinched at the wet crack that followed the well-aimed punch. He then positioned himself between him and Yamada, his teeth bared and fists still clenched. Touch him again and I'll break your skull. Blood streaming down his face from the probably broken nose, Yamada threw him a furious glare. So you are with him, huh? I'm surprised our little Akira mentioned what he was about to do to hide his mistake. It wasn't a mistake, you fucker. You stole that document from him. And then you had the fucking audacity to blackmail him. That's what he told you? How naive of you to believe that. You... Shh. I know, don't worry. Really? You're going to believe that pathetic... What's going on here? Kunimi jumped and instinctively clutched Kindaichi's sleeve before all heads turned to their boss. I can explain. It's... Shiroto-san, don't listen to him. He's completely out of it. Can you shut up? Enough. Kunimi, speak. I hope you have a damn good explanation for this whole mess. Still trembling, Kunimi handed the man the report. This was supposed to be in the folder I sent you last week, about the construction company. It's a recommendation to not approve the loan for them because of past problems. I found it in Yamada's drawer just a moment ago. Kindaichi hissed as he turned around, nodding in thanks at Kunimi for support. My apologies for the mess, but it was the only way we could get it back. That guy was blackmailing Akira into sex. Shiroto's face darkened. Is that true? Of course not. They're just making it up to drag me down. They don't have proof of anything. I wouldn't be surprised if he planted that report in my stuff to denigrate me. He didn't. I saw him find that document in Yamada's desk. Shut up! Yeah, and he was being all weird around Kunimi too the whole week. Right, all sleazy and slimy. And now he just launched himself on him. If it wasn't for the other man with crutches. Shut the fuck up, all of you! Enough! Yamada, my office. Kunimi, you go to HR. Everyone that has something to say to this, I'll be expecting you to announce it to the HR too by the end of today's shift. Everyone else, go back to work. Immediately. The murmur around the office grew in volume as everyone started to debate all the various theories, though for Kunimi it was barely a white noise. He let out a shaky breath, squeezing Kindaichi's hand on his shoulder before he no less than collapsed into the nearest chair. He hid his face in his palms, all of the accumulated stress suddenly overflowing through tears. He made his way through the long hallway leading from their HR department, still shaking, but at least he could breathe a bit more freely now that the weight was off his shoulders. He told the full truth, and now everything depended on his boss. He handed his manager a paper allowing him to take off the rest of the day, earning a somewhat sympathetic smile before he rushed to the lobby where Kindaichi was already waiting for him. To his surprise, he found him in a lively debate with the two men who came barging in before, though now they seemed on quite friendly terms. Also, now that he looked at them properly, he realized why they seemed so familiar. You... Kindaichi sprang up, grunting in pain when he put more weight on his left leg and pulled Kunimi to his chest. How did it go? All good? I suppose. They'll look into it and let me know. Okay, that's better than nothing. He pulled away, his smile bright, yet tainted with pain perhaps only the two of them could see. I'm sorry it didn't go all according to the plan. I tried to stop him from going back, but my legs refused to listen. Kunimi lightly punched his shoulder before carefully guiding him back to his seat. I told you to be careful with yourself. I was, I swear. Yeah, we wouldn't let him get hurt again. Sighing, Kunimi quickly dried his eyes and bowed his head to the two. I suppose you were also part of the plan. Indeed, we were the needed distraction. Though we didn't do that good of a job in the end. Sorry about that. It's alright. I'm still grateful. Thank you. No worries. It's our duty to help a friend in need. Kunimi couldn't help but smile, grateful Kindaichi had friends like them. They then bid each other goodbye, and soon it was just him and Kindaichi again. Let's go home. Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. He sniffed quietly and stood up on his tiptoes to bring their lips together, the urge to cling to his beloved and not let go becoming a bit too strong to ignore. Yet he held back for now and only helped Kindaichi walk to their car, knowing he was about to get smothered in hugs anyway when they arrived home. Not that he complained. Since all that was left was to wait, he could as well wait in the safety of Kindaichi's arms. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, I'm going to follow up a bit more on this in the challenges, but this is the end for the one shots or two shot, let's say, because the main point is done. I really hope it wasn't underwhelming, given what I promised. Again, I've never written heist before, and yeah, it might have been recognizable, but I really tried. So I hope it wasn't underwhelming for you. And as I said, I will do a little follow-up in the next challenge, because it probably doesn't justify another like special episode. So we will see next time. If you have any request or idea, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time.